not.
Bum bada bum bada bum bada bum bada bum bum. Bada
Okay,
bum
so
bada
live.
bum bada bum bada bum bada bum bada bum bum bum. Bada bum bada bum bada bum bada bum bada bum bum. Bada bum bada bum bada bum bada bum bada bum bada bum bum bum. Then we're gonna play this
Welcome to
wonderful
Inside the
song.
Square, Bad Circle.
Yeah, this is Bad Ideas, Bad Circle.
Can we
I'm gonna
rename
play
it to
some.
Inside the Square with Bad Circle?
This is the last thing you see before you die.
Okay, this is a snippet of the song. We're not gonna play the whole song.
This is my Hellraiser outfit. Do I look like Hellraiser?
Hell yeah.
That would have been perfect if we were talking about Hellraiser, but instead we're talking about probably the opposite.
Yeah, and I'm dressed for Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, like everybody. This is as far as presentation goes. I mean, we're under the sea, so
Well, where's your
I should
fucking
say,
captain hat then?
yeah. Thank you.
Where's your
like,
fucking French sailor's jacket?
I'm just glad that you guys all met me here. Honestly, like in this ocean, this cavernous ocean.
Yeah, we have no way of getting out, but I'm happy to be here.
I've always been a fan of pure pressure. You don't find the only place you find as much pressure, the ocean.
I was hoping that was where you were going.
Good one. Good one.
Yeah, it's an all right one. I'm all for cheers. Cheers. Welcome to 2020, the near end of 2021. So bad. Just
it's
this
September
is
11th.
What? This is
Happy September 11th.
Yeah,
Towers drinking.
In honor of the National Plane Day, we're watching a movie about boats. Everybody, it's the best I could connect this movie to 9/11. I couldn't actually make
honestly, like we should have thought this through because you would have been great to
the 9/11 stream
movie. We could have watched Loose Change.
Yeah, if we're gonna watch a 9/11 movie, let's just get it. Let's just get all the 9/11 out of the way while we're talking about Mastering Commander.
I am so down to remake 9/11. What's you guys' 9/11 remake, real quick? Just
my 9/11 remake. I think it would be a dance video. It'd be a dance video, and I'd probably I think I'd put a lot of people from the Dead Sea Shores in it, and we'd make a music video, and they'd probably it'd be like the lead up to the 9/11, and they'd all be dancing.
Okay, I like that idea. I was thinking a dirty bomb in a train station. What do you think, Brant?
I would go for the classic money making opportunity for a big budget Hollywood movie, and I would have the planes instead strike 2 large towers in L.A. And then I would have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson there, saving people from the burning building. And at the end, I would have a small stinger where you see George W. Bush in a UFO just kind of hovering above it, and he's got his finger just over the kill them all button.
But he presses the save the world button instead.
Yeah, his finger, and then he just punches with his fist, just hits the destroy all aliens button instead.
Macho Man Randy Savage falls out of the fucking sky with 2 M60s.
No, we won't go
paint
that far.
thinner.
We can't get the rights to his likeness yet.
Do you think who taught George Bush to paint? Do you think he taught himself, or do you think somebody actually took the time to teach him how to paint Abu Ghraib victims? That's what I want to know.
I think it's easier to start painting when you just have the blood of your victim's hands on your fingers all the time. You can just do some
so you just start
wherever you are.
Yeah,
he's like Sideshow
years
Bob,
in the White House just covered in oil and children's blood, and he just kept getting stuff on all the nice white sheets and stuff. And he was just like, that kind of looks like a ducky.
Barbara was finally just she brings out canvas
painting with the 9/11 victims' blood.
George, do it on the canvases instead. I'm sick of cleaning blood off of everything that isn't my nice white pants.
And
that was the birth of great arts. I just imagine they walk into the war room, and for a meeting with George, and he's just got mission accomplished written with his shit all over the walls. Mission accomplished. Yeah.
Did I do good? Did I do good, President?
SEAL Team 6 is just good job, sir. We have something to do now.
Yeah, looks like we gotta lick this up, sir.
Oh, was
Uh,
it? Remember, like isn't there the video of like when the towers fell and the guy like leans in to tell Bush about it while he's reading like a story to a bunch of kids, and just the look on his face is just like, huh?
Oh yeah, it's classic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's priceless. It's great.
He's just
Okay.
confused.
Okay.
Well, here's the
So,
question,
where was
then,
everybody?
fellas.
No,
If
I'm gonna
9/11 was an
steamroll.
inside,
Where were you on 9/11? I'm just gonna steamroll over your question. I'm sorry, Dwayne, but where were you? Because I want to
I was
ask you this
fucking
question that
baby,
nobody has ever asked anybody this question. I want to ask you it. Where were you on 9/11?
I had a way better question about the motives of George W. Bush, but I was a fucking
already
baby.
asked.
I don't remember it.
You don't remember?
No, I don't remember it. Everybody remembers where they were at 9/11. Not if you were fucking running around in a shitty diaper.
I was 6.
I guess I was like 5.
Yeah,
but
why
I
did you
just don't
shit your
remember.
pants?
How do you not? I remember exactly where I was. We were driving down the road and we heard it on the radio, and then my mom pulled over at a bar and we watched it on televisions. It was pretty cool. I was like, I don't care.
I don't remember. I have trouble remembering anything before I was 10 due to concussions and also just repressed memories.
Yeah, see, that's me only with child molestation.
I think I was in school and like it happened, and then like our teacher was just kind of like, we didn't like have like any TVs rolled in or anything. She just kind of was like, got a call and left, and like 2 hours later, we're all just like, hey, you guys can go home. And I was like, all right, cool, sick, bye.
So 9/11 actually, yeah, I mean, like a lot of kids had probably great days on 9/11. You know, not the kids.
No,
that,
if you didn't really know what was going on, you were just like, hell yeah, day off. Like I loved the beginning of COVID because I was just like, hell yeah, day off.
Yeah. Okay, so what was your better question? My question didn't get any good reactions.
Yeah, because we're not fucking 35, dude. We don't have great 9/11 stories. We don't have actually, like, my dad did try to like sign up for the service the day after, and they were like, dude, you've got 3 kids and your wife doesn't go home.
Come on, don't do it.
Like, I want to kill Arabs more than I want to provide, and we were all just like, fuck yeah, because you know that we're patriots. So, but anyway, he came back. But my question was, if you like, do you think Bush like knew, like, even let's just assume 9/11 was an inside job. You think they'd tell that guy? Fuck that. I don't that and they have him react in a room full of children when he's told. He's not that good of an actor, man. Like I'm pretty sure that if 9/11 was an inside job, they didn't tell him.
Listen, no, I think you're wrong. Because if I had to tell anyone by the rules of Bahamut or whatever demon I'm worshiping at the time, they're like, well, someone has to know what's happening. You're damn right I would tell the puppet, the damn near retarded presidential puppet, being like, hey, Bush, get this. We're going to crash some planes into the tower, and there's nothing you can do about it. And he'd be like, well, now
try to stop us. He's like, I'm going to go change.
What are you going to do, baby Bush?
We're like, we're going to do it at the worst PR time for you two.
Maybe.
When you're reading stories to kids, and then you'll have to explain to kids that their parents might be dead.
So, do you think, okay, so there's, I mean, because if we're just going to view it from the lens of, like, George Bush had to react to this live while reading to children.
I would have actually
there's a few options. Well, there's a few options we have here, because it's either they did this on purpose, not knowing that he didn't know anything about it, and it was just to humiliate him, or however, or they did this on purpose, knowing he knew everything about it. It was a photo op, or like he didn't know anything about it, and like he kind of just scheduled this thing, and then they just kind of like they just kind of had to like do it at the last minute, and it wasn't even intentional, But like, was it just made because it makes him look like an asshole?
Yeah, it does. It does make him look. And see, that's why I'm on the side of option 3, because especially since they benefited off of having him be the president, he had record high approval and shit. It's not like Joe Biden now, where they're just expecting him to die, so they're just pinning all the Afghanistan on him. Like they wanted Bush to succeed. So I don't know.
They didn't want him to
That's
look
like
like
the
an
last
astronaut?
thing I still slightly believe the official narrative on, because like I don't know how much fucking jet fuel can't melt steel beams. I don't know how much that is a meme at this point. I am not a scientist.
I don't think that's really like the argument at this
The
point.
Pentagon shit makes me really wonder though. That
Well,
one I don't
you-
fucking buy.
Okay. Well, there's also like FBI declassified documents that like talk about like overseas interference with like exactly the plans of 9/11 of like who was going to bomb 9/11. Like if you look up the dance, yeah, whatever. Do your own research. Just go do your own research and like look up some FBI unclassified documents and or declassified documents. Like it's.
I
they
guarantee
spell
there's
it
some
all out.
YouTube videos that could do
Well,
most of that.
there's a
for me.
couple
I just can't
things,
find
such
them.
as like the fact that
Listen
like
to the fucking FBI.
a lot of different planes like put out the call for hijacking, and then nothing happened, and they landed perfectly fine. There's also things about how like the hijackers used to live with CIA agents and were insurgents, and they were just, like,
Exactly.
roommates with the same guys. There's a lot of weird shit. There's like all that not insider training that happened before 9/11, where a lot of stocks for like that specific and insurances for those buildings got moved around.
There was an entire van full of people that were parked outside of the World Trade Center and were watching to make sure that it actually went down. And when they were like when they had photos of them taken, because people were like, what what is going on? Because they
Wasn't
were
there like a couple?
They
There
were
was
out
a-
there
there was a
making
group of
sure it
fucking
went
people.
down.
They
Yeah.
knew there's a group of people that were parked with a van outside of the World Trade Centers that were watching the buildings go down. This is documented. Multiple people have like corroborated on this, and they were watching it go down, and then they like literally high-fived and decided and like were happy that like this had happened. Then when the cops were called on them, the cops like met with them and decided to let them go, and nothing has ever come of it.
I don't know. I'll have to look into that one because that was
That's a
one I really
classic.
hope is true, because that's funny if they literally fucking high fived.
Dude, if
That's
you think
pretty
that's funny, the
Okay, maybe
Dancing
it's not a high
Israelis
five,
is,
but-
is probably the best one. You know about
That's
that.
what I'm
Cass.
talking about. That's what
No,
I'm talking.
oh, you're talking about the. Okay, well then.
Well,
yeah,
you were
got
talking
two.
about Building 7, right? Isn't that an
No.
entirely different thing?
No, I'm talking about the dancing Israelis.
Yeah,
the
but
dancing
Grant was
Israelis are.
Oh, they're Israelis now. I get it. Okay. Now
Yeah. So like, what happened was like they
Cool.
were videotaping it. And
So
they
you know
also,
what's
like,
even better than
showed
9/11?
me.
Oh,
Master
shit,
and
my camera.
Commander.
That's a personal opinion, and I think you could say you
Good
could
segue.
Yeah.
I like that segue. Yeah, no, it's just do your own research. Just do
Like a
your own
fat
research.
man who
That's all
doesn't
I-
like to
So,
walk around
Master
too
and
much. That's a
Commander
good
is-
segue.
What year did this movie
Oh,
come out? Like
2003.
This movie came out in 2002.
Oh, so right after 9. So this is a post 9/11 movie. They were probably the
It's-
crew. Russell Crowe probably reacted. Not he knows where he was on 9/11. He was making Master and Commander.
Okay, sorry. Correction. 2003. I had to look it up. This
It's
movie came out in 2000.
2000 what?
2003.
2003. Okay.
The synopsis opened right in front of me. Of course, I know what day it came out.
Okay, so it's a movie. They're on a boat. Russell Crowe's in charge.
But it's not Pirates of the Caribbean, so it's not as fun.
It's not Pirates of the Caribbean, and there are things about this movie that are done way better than Pirates of the Caribbean, but like, in my opinion, you're wishing Jack Sparrow was there the whole time.
Yes.
Barbosa. Literally, dude, I watched this movie, and then
So
right
how
after
bad is
I was
everybody
like,
that
man,
I chose
wish I
this
just saw
movie?
fucking Black Pearl. That's such a good
Okay.
movie.
This is
Because-
better than Thanksgiving. I'll give you that at least, Cats.
I think it's a good
Well,
movie. I'm just saying,
It's a
like,
solid movie.
Because I love this movie. I've
Oh.
watched. I didn't get to rewatch it again today, but I've watched this movie a few times, and it's like it's exactly the kind of movie I want to watch on like a Sunday and just like have a beer, not do anything else. It's great.
I can
see
that because, like,
yeah.
if I'm watching it just because like it's a good movie and it's got good parts and stuff, like I could totally see me rewatching this. But like when I'm like watching it for a reason, like I want to know like the story. Like I don't know, I wasn't bored. Like it's a how long is this movie? Like a little over 2 hours.
2 hours, 15 minutes.
2 hours, 15 minutes. I honestly wasn't bored the whole time. Like, it kept me interested just because the characters were good and like there was some good violence. There was some interesting shit with like I don't know.
There were some fucked up kills actually. That's right. Okay,
there were some good ones. Yeah,
gotta give it to the kills. Gotta give it to the kills.
Like when they shoot the albatross and the doctor's like, yeah, I gotta cut this boy open because a bit of his shirt's inside of him.
Oh, yeah, and then he cuts himself open. Dude, this is the second thing I've seen. This was before it, but, like, this is the second thing I've seen where a doctor fucking operated on themselves. If I had not seen that in something else, then I would have been...
What was, what movie? What was the other movie?
It was the last episode of The Nick, the Soderbergh show.
That show?
That show's fucking awesome.
I've seen the first season, or the first...
There's only one season.
I've seen a fair amount of the first season. There's only one season?
No, maybe there's two. But whatever, I think it's either one season or two seasons, but there's nothing after that.
Really?
It's a bummer because it left on like a cliffhanger. It's fucked up.
I watched a fair amount of the first season then. But I mean, not to get that show does have a lot, like, it has some similarities at least with like how procedural things are, because like I think the strength of this movie wasn't that you learned, like you were talking about like how you wanted to learn about sailing or something.
How like at the very least, I bet it was going to give me some sailing info. Like at the very least, this feels like it's going to be very technical.
It slightly does. But it like handles it in a way where like the characters are depicted in a way that they understand everything so much that nothing is discussed. Like everything is just kind of like
except for that scene in the beginning when the doctor's like, oh, well, what does the forewind mean? Or whatever he says.
Right.
I was so fucked when they just like started whistling and everyone's like, oh, I know exactly what that means. It's like, here's two tunes that like tell you exactly what needs to happen. It's like, how? What?
Yeah.
Spend like
this is one that like from the beginning I was like, subtitles on, because I feel like I'm gonna miss a lot of shit without that on. So like there was a lot of detail and just like yelling shit about like parts of boats. But I don't know, like Russell Crowe's a great character in it. Like he like something that I really do enjoy about this movie is like I can't think of another movie where it's like this guy, like, because this isn't a real character, right? This is all fiction, right?
No, I think this is a real thing that happened, isn't it?
It's based on some books. I don't think it's real.
Okay, well, either way.
Listen, history is made of conjecture, and rumor becomes fact. The long line of life that becomes
history is a lot, like, I'll just put this out on the table. Like, history is a lot more fun when you just introduce a little bit of fiction.
If you're gonna think that like Moby Dick isn't become like a historical document for like the whaling industry in like 1,000 years, you can suck my
watch Baron von Munchausen. If anyone wants to disagree with this, like, watch Baron Munchausen.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's
watch the movie Baron von Munchausen, and you'll just like decide, like, after that you'll just be like, okay, the Earth could be flat. I don't know, like, it maybe, like, who cares? It's a lot more fun when you just like think it could be.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, like, I watched Pirates of the Caribbean 3, and I was like, oh, the world could have an edge, and then you fall off, and then there's Davy Jones.
There's Davy Jones, and there's this African chick, and she says like "Utatata, utatata, utatata," and like a Kraken.
Yeah, no, she's played by Eartha Kitt, the great Eartha Kitt, from who played Yzma.
Jazz. Ooh. She do like singing?
No, she was she might have done singing, because like she's sung in stuff. She played Yzma in like The Emperor's New Groove, and she played she's done a lot of voice work, and she played Catwoman in the '60s Batman.
Oh, I have much more respect for her now.
Yeah, she's a bad bitch. Oh, and she was the old lady in Holes. She was Madame Zeroni.
Oh shit! Oh,
man.
No, she's Eartha Kitt's a bad bitch. I think she's still kicking. I might be wrong. There. She died recently, but she
R.I.P.
I thought Eartha Kitt was a fucking jazz singer or something. What the fuck are you? What?
She probably could have been. She had a beautiful voice.
Yeah, no, you're not. Yeah, Eartha Kitt is a fucking jazz singer that
just also acted. I wouldn't be surprised.
Also an actress.
Hey,
yeah,
I got.
She was in the Emperor's
from a Disney.
Holy shit!
No, Eartha Kitt was a bad bitch.
No, she was a jazz singer in like the 40s though. Like she was
Oh my god, man, Blood Orange.
She worked with Orson Welles.
Listen, the Cranberry might have got me drunk, but this Blood Orange White Claw Surge is pretty okay.
Thank you very much. That was our sponsor, Shower Beers with Brant.
I have one more.
so.
I have the natural lime. I'm saving that for last because lime's always best with White Claw. White Claw
Oh,
Surge.
it's not key lime though. It's just natural lime. It's a blood
natural
orange.
lime.
Okay.
White Claw Surge. White Claw, the sponsor for Master and Commander. Ride the Claw.
I was gonna make a point. So
There's no law when you're riding.
What's interesting about this movie is like I can't think of another movie, whether it's based on a real guy or not. I can't think of another movie where it's like, here's a historical character who's like a badass classic machismo guy. And he's a badass classic machismo guy the whole time. The movie is not about why that's a bad thing. The movie is not about his hubris. The movie is, he is a good leader the whole time. I cannot think of a single movie I have seen recently.
He's like consistent and like constant he's just
So, okay. No, Dwayne's exactly right. The reason I like this movie, this is a movie that I find to be like actually refreshing at this point in time, is because we don't actually get that many films where a main character is allowed to just exist like as a good person and show and exemplify like good behavior based on just like their actions, and they don't change. Yeah, he doesn't change. He doesn't change his behavior because like his like master and commandership, or his leadership is pretty great from the start. Like he understands like how to run things.
And he does like change a little bit as a character, because at the end when he decides like, all right, fuck it, we're just gonna go back to the Galapagos for my dude here and make sure he's okay.
He becomes a little bit nicer.
But that either way though, like you're saying though, he was still steady. That was still him as a character. He was reacting to the changing in circumstance because he was a good leader. His character was literally just, he's a great leader.
But a lot of this movie too was like his whole drive and his whole like it like I said, in a lot of the ways, this is just Moby Dick again, because in the ways where Captain Ahab was like, I haven't
read Moby Dick, so I don't know.
Okay, it's not really like Moby Dick.
Wrong.
He's obsessed with going after the white whale, in the way that like the Acreon or whatever, Archeon is his white whale, where he's like, well, we're just gonna go get it. We're gonna do it because we're the best. We're the best ship, but we're gonna take all their shit. We're gonna sink to the bottom of the ocean.
But he's not mad. He's not mad. He doesn't.
No, he's
go,
not
he
insane. But like his drive
everything.
ends up killing a lot of people. But like because of his leadership and his whole thing, everyone's like, all right, yeah, we love you still, Captain. Like he stays the same, but like his choices definitely fuck over some people.
His choice makes sense though. Like his choice makes sense from a leadership perspective, whereas like Moby Dick is about like, somebody actually he's becoming mad. Like nature is like, overcoming him, and he's not thinking about his leadership anymore in Moby Dick. Like
that's true. Okay, you got me on that.
Yeah, exactly.
I should refine
Moby Dick is where the story theoretically would have gone for most movies, where like eventually his hubris catches up to him or something. But in this movie, no, he makes the right choice.
He makes the one choice that's like, we're gonna be the ones to sink this ship, and we're gonna take all their stuff, and we're gonna take all the glory. And that one choice leads to many things happening, good or bad. And he, as a captain, just kind of like rides that tide, baby. Surfs up. White Claw Surge. Drink it now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, he makes mistakes, and he has to live with them. Like he does. It shows like that kind of.
I do appreciate that. Like, as a character, he's just like, well, that's who I am, and like these are. Because it's true to like the time period where it's like, if you're a captain of a ship, dude, shit's gonna happen and people are gonna die no matter what you choose. So
and you can't own up. Like it's not about owning up to your mistakes. Like you really can't do that as a captain. And
it's just
like,
accepting what happens.
Yeah, but you can't like go out and apologize. You're not gonna go out and go, oh, I was wrong. I don't know exactly what I was doing there. You just be like, nope, sorry. Like that's just like that's
this
exactly.
Movie needed an entire scene where Russell Crowe gets on Twitter and he says, "I'm so sorry for my actions and those I've hurted."
Yeah,
that was a bad call.
And then the East India like trading company like comes in and they're like, oh shit, they're like, oh, we don't, this was the rogue actions of like one of our corporate, sailors. Like
we don't condone this not. Captain.
Yeah, we do not stand for this type of behavior, like across the board. There we go. Fuck. Okay.
Despite my my snoozing and my cruising, it was a solid movie. The parts I actually like to remember a lot were very It was a good character plot. It was a good character movie, and I think Russell Crowe, God, he's such a fucking good actor. It pisses me off sometimes, but he's only good in like these, or he's at his best. Sorry, I should say he's at his best in like these very like in-depth classical settings. I feel like is where he really shines. If he can be like an older person who's like dead for 100+ years, he really just, as long as he's not.
He's really good. Yeah, he's a good character actor for like older, like just like contemporary and like, or not contemporary, but like period piece type things. Like he's really good for like just,
Ford, and you have him like be a road raging cocks.
Because I mean,
he's more likable as a guy you're supposed to like. He's not as good.
He's not a good villain.
Every time I've seen him as a villain that I can think of, I might be wrong about this, and I probably am, but like fucking he was shitty in fucking Les Miserables.
He was not a bad villain in Unhinged, though. Unhinged was a poorly directed film. It wasn't a poorly acted film. I'll say.
Oh yeah, he tried his best.
Fuck you.
No,
fuck
he was fine. That movie.
I don't know, man. There was a lot of roast.
He did his best, and it still fell.
Been a while since
he was fine. He
gained so much weight for that. Remember how sweaty he was in Unhinged? Remember how sweaty and greasy he was?
That movie, if well directed, if directed properly, that movie should have been like this century is falling down. Like that should have been the truck driver's moment of revenge, basically. Like, but instead, that fucking movie sucks. What?
I'll disagree with that statement. I don't think it would have been our falling down. I think we still have.
Well, it was also the writing.
It was so fucking stupid.
That's true.
No, we're not talking about Unhinged. Just because that's Russell Crowe. Let's move away from Unhinged. There are no cars.
How many? What was Russell Crowe like? Didn't he? What did he get in trouble for? Wasn't he like drunk or something? What did he do?
The guy in the face in a bar.
Okay, how many punches in the face of random guys does this particular Master and Commander Russell Crowe get?
He's had a few. I think he's like had some like.
I'm saying we're rating him on a scale of 1 to 5 punches in the face.
This captain for Master and Commander?
For this
like in real life?
Russell Crowe, yeah. How many crows we giving this Russell?
Wait, I don't understand. What
on a scale like if Unhinged was like 2 punches in the face of out of 5 of random civilians, then this would have been like, for me, I'd call this like 4 out of 5. This is probably a 5 out of 5 Russell Crowe on.
This is a naval
captain.
Sure.
Okay.
He gets rowdy in so many scenes, like when he's serving cake to people, and he's just like putting like the plate in, like, here you go, and he's like, fuck it, this is for me, and he just like picks up like a big thing of it, and it's like,
I love that.
Russell.
I love that dinner scene where he's telling the anecdote. And he's like, oh, you must choose the lesser of 2 weevils. And then he just makes everyone laugh. I love it when, like, the same thing we were saying about just, like, he doesn't change, he's a good guy or whatever. It's nice when a character gets a little win, because I'm so used to, like, seeing a conversation like that where, like, the joke doesn't land or whatever, and then we have to judge him because, like, oh, clearly.
Yeah.
Like, I just liked that we were just able to be like, oh, this fucking classic machismo is fuck dude, in a classic Homeric sense of a hero is just a good dude.
The natural one is a solid one. FYI, good one.
Well, the Weevil joke is a total, like, that's such a dumb joke that
it is, but it made me laugh because he just got so into it, and it felt like the kind of joke that would have been told in that era, but it still slightly translates to now.
It's a good dad joke, and like that's the whole thing with him is like all the scenes where he's not like in command, where he's not a master and commander, and where he just gets to be a person and relax. I feel like that's the best part, like most of this movie, is where he's just with like his crew, his first hands. They're all dining and they're talking and they're getting ready. Like at the bad parts near the end, when like shit gets a little south, like it's all the best parts of it, when it's just Russell Crowe and his crew.
Yeah, and that one guy that died, that one guy that just committed suicide, and they were like, we
oh yeah, because he was a Jonah. So that was a good scene. Yeah, that was a whole good little arc.
He saw the mermaids,
the Jonah,
and he couldn't resist.
And that's kind of crazy too, because any other movie, the Jonah would have come and like betrayed everybody or something at some point, but no, he was just literally
he committed
Jonah and he killed himself.
Yeah, in the movie, it's presented as good that he committed like suicide. Basically,
it is. They have like a prayer afterwards, and then they move on.
We need more movies
like
like
the
that.
sacrifices we make at ship.
Look, we need more movies that just say like, listen, if you kill yourself, I don't give a shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, everyone fucking gets over it because that guy was fucking annoying to begin with. Like honestly, that's the best way to treat suicide. Like that's such an unflattering view of suicide in a film like that. It's actually kind of brilliant. I think.
I legitimately woke up and I was like, "Thank God he's dead."
No one mourned. He was just fucking. He was gone.
No.
And that is the best like anti-suicide message I've seen. Is like you don't know there's gonna be that tear-jerking funeral. You don't know all the hot girls are gonna say, "Oh, I wish." The most likely people are just gonna be like, "Yeah, you're fucking dead now, pussy."
Here's the straight up truth: if you're thinking about killing yourself, no one's gonna fucking care. At your funeral, there's gonna be a lot of people that are like, "Thank God they're fucking dead." So when you kill yourself,
the people you
sure
hate
you like
are
a fun person that's loved by everyone before
you
do it.
Okay, can I get a hot topic in here? Like Anthony Bourdain, was he like does he deserve all the fucking love or does he not?
He was a really, really smart guy, and his show was awesome.
I guess.
But I genuinely think the fact that he committed suicide, and like even I watched a Joe Rogan recently where he was talking to like a woman who wrote a book about him, who was his like assistant for years, knew him really well. And he was saying something like, "Oh, the fact that he committed suicide, like he killed himself in a romantic way or whatever." And I was like, "You're not wrong, Joe, but like that's why it's fucked up." Like, that's why we shouldn't, like, I personally think just as a fucking, like, move, I think everybody who commits suicide, we as a society should just be like, okay, that guy was a pussy, right? Fuck that guy.
Nerd. Fuck them.
No.
Or else that's the only thing that's going to keep stupid kids from fucking trying to follow in footsteps because they think they're Kurt fucking Cobain.
It's crazy bringing that up because I just recently worked with someone who looked exactly like Anthony Bourdain. And I kid you not, like, the entire time I worked with him, he was talking about...
They killed themselves?
He didn't kill himself yet, but like while I was working with him in like the town that we've been in, and like he was talking about, I was like, "That's exactly what Anthony Bourdain said about this town." Every single time, and it's been fucking with me since. And that was like,
see, it's interesting. Like, he was an icon for dudes who look like him, I guess, in the same way that like fucking. For if you meet like a chubby looking angry little fucking Irish dude, most of them are gonna like say a Louis C.K. quote occasionally or something.
Makes sense.
That's pretty smart. Shit. I even called the guy Anthony Bourdain. It was pretty funny, and I think he wasn't a fan of it. But dude, he did look like it. That weird like 50% German and like English, but it grew up in America look. It's indistinguishable. They all look the exact same. I swear to God. There's a phenotype for people that look just like Anthony Bourdain, and that was one of the people. And I was just like, listen, I'm very sorry to keep calling you Anthony, but like you look exactly like Mr. Bourdain.
I haven't come across this like subspecies of just like Anthony Bourdains that exist in the world.
I've seen a couple.
I mean,
I'm happy to believe that
if somebody has like a different haircut and stuff, like it won't look as accurate. But like a lot of dudes, like skinny dudes, like in Missoula, like a lot of them, like if they just dressed up properly. All right, here's another joke that's probably for nobody listening. But I realized most Missoula dudes that have girls with them just look FTM as fuck. Like they all look like they're just not actual dudes.
Shit.
That's my joke. That's the thing. That's something I noticed wandering around Missoula. Is
you should do that as stand up. You should do that as stand up in town. You really should. Like,
sure.
If you really wanted to like get in like a bunch of people,
like
the
applause. That'd get you quite.
No, at the union. No, it wouldn't get him any applause.
Oh no, I would.
But the union.
They would love to throw bottles at me.
They would love to say, like,
the union
F2M. Because they're all valid.
He's making fun of men, so at the very least, like, you know, the women aren't going to get really pissed off.
And if I do it like this, then technically I'm making a feminist joke.
Yeah.
Technicalities don't count for shit. Sorry, that was an engineer quote.
I don't know.
So did that answer your question about Anthony Bourdain cats?
No, I mean he's fuck Anthony Bourdain. That's that's the answer I wanted for my question.
I love the conspiracies around Anthony Bourdain about like the Hillary Clinton shit too. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Like his suicide was not like an actual thing, and it was like because he was on all the fun shit that happens.
Okay, one of the good like Anthony Bourdain things is like I'm pretty sure there's like a code like in like written on the wall of like the place where he ate with Obama in the background, and that code comes up with like literally just child porn if you search it onto the Yandex. Yandex is a Russian Google, or is it not Google, but like a Russian search engine, and I guess like.
Well, if you think about how much child porn is on the internet,
you've been watching a lot of Kiwi Farms, haven't you?
I watched this. I found out about this 2 years ago. Like this was old news. This wasn't on Kiwi Farms. This was fuck. What was this on? This was on like a YouTube channel called Mouthy Buddha. He was like a Buddhist.
I think I know what you're talking about. That sounds kind of beautiful.
Yeah. It was
anyways.
Yeah, this is we're in the weeds. We're in the weeds.
Yeah, do you want to do the thing? Should we just move on to the thing?
Yeah, let's do the thing.
Okay.
We talk about some
He goes after the ship. He gets the ship. People die. It's a good time.
That was the underwater. Transition. Okay.
Scene transition.
I'm just going to go with Brant.
Okay, this is a classic. This is very, very easy. I want to get J.J. Abrams on our project real quick. First of all, that's absolutely without any reason. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to Star Trek this. We're going to bring the ship to space. And I'm talking the exact same premise, the exact same plot line. We're going to change a couple names around. This is going to be like the Jupiter Rising versus Pluto Acreon. It's going to be the whole exact same idea. We're going to put a little planet Archeon. We're going to throw a little treasure planet in there for spice, for flavor. But for the most part, we're going through space, baby. The sea.
How much money do you think Treasure Planet made, Brant?
Due to the fact that every time I bring that movie up to most people, they kind of like look at me blankly. I'm gonna hit like less than 10 million.
That's their fucking problem.
But this will have J.J. Abrams. This will have top of the line. We're gonna keep Russell Crowe in there. He's gonna be fucking phenomenal. We're gonna get who's another good name that we can throw in there? Ian McKellen. He's gonna be like he's gonna be our secondary. He's gonna be our villain. He's gonna be our Sauron. This shit's gonna be tight as hell. Listen to me, cats. I want literally the exact same plot, but in space.
How
long
ago did you come up with this? Yeah, that's wonderful.
I will not say it till the end of the day.
He will not say until he's either chosen winner or not.
Yeah, well, either way. But no, it's because this is the most pure, like, it just translates to anything, honestly. Like, this like, we're going after the big goose. We're going after, like, the wanted poster. You could put this shit in a Western. You could put this shit in, like, a World War II documentary of, like, oh, this, like, tank brigade. You could put this in literally anything as, like, a context, and it flows perfectly the whole way through.
I see what you did there.
It's amazing because, like, as I look at that, like, this movie is just like, well, that's how war works. And that's how, like, bounty hunting works. You could put dog. Can I take away Russell Crowe and Ian McKellen for 1 second and say, like, Dog the Bounty Hunter in space? That's my movie.
What does that have to do with Master and Command?
I don't know.
Because this movie follows a basic Dog the Bounty Hunter episode arc, honestly.
All life does, if you look at it.
I've never watched Dog the Bounty Hunter, honestly.
Oh, shit. So, I think you should watch it because it's great white trash TV. It's amazing. I would say smoke a spliff, drink a beer,
can
and
I
watch
just
the
like
Bounty Hunter.
Can I just give my idea and you just like think hard for a different?
Wait, no, I have some questions. I have some questions for Brant. I have some questions.
This is legitimate, like put together.
If you want to go with it, I'm just saying, like I think.
Yeah, we're keeping this going. But I want.
That's fine.
I think Dog the Bounty Hunter needs to be like his second in command. I think it needs to be like Russell Crowe with Dog the Bounty Hunter chasing Ian McKellen through the cosmos, like past our system.
Okay. Are we? So like. You didn't watch. First of all, you didn't really watch like the movie, right? You didn't watch like the middle.
Okay, so I watched it like twice, 3 times technically, but like the beginning and end.
Somehow less than once.
Yeah, the beginning and the end, and I fell asleep both times.
Yeah, so you didn't watch the movie. You didn't actually like fully immerse yourself into the feeling of the film. I just ask you, how are you going to recreate like the actual like vibe that the movie, like the original movie had? Like, what's the vibe that you're going to go for in space? It's actually interesting.
Because we're not going to like be talking about like the captains and like their whole deck and like we're going to fire missiles, put shields up. It's going to be like the captain dealing with like the bottom crew, you know, the guys who are like, you know, welling out the water, you know, to keep the ship from sinking, who are like risking their lives, just bucketing down, loading cannons, doing all that shit. We're just gonna translate it up. Let's get translated up a little bit, you know, where it's gonna be like, instead of dudes, you know, without con, their ears going deaf because cannons are going off, dudes like holding plasma rods, loading into the.
Well, what's your mastering commander like though? What's your master? I want to know what your mastering commander is like. Like
at this point,
you want to know
like
what Russell Crowe's like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, okay, well then that's not fun. Like you got to change.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'll give you my idea, and
you want me to? How am I going to change Master Commander? Fine, fuck it. Johnny Depp's there, and he's just like, "Oh, where's the rum?" That's it. What do you want? It's a fucking. You want me to like just redo Moby Dick? It's a goddamn naval battle movie, cats. There's not much you can do with this.
Okay, to be fair, I am aware that I chose it mostly because it was still on it like came back on Amazon.
I will agree that this was not like the greatest choice for remakes, but like
I'll Monty Python this shit. Then fuck it, we'll do the whole thing. We're like the pirates of the fucking stock market. Would you like that, cats? Would you like a Pirates of the Stock Market thing? Let's go building to building, stealing stocks and money. That sounds like fun. I'm trying to put it in space at least. I want some like sci-fi. I want some dumb CGI that we can throw money at. So the next time the production house asks for like, hey, what's your budget? We can up that shit a little bit more. So the next movie fucking gets a ton of it.
Those are pretty good options. Do you want to think about something? Do you want to think about like, you know, like condensing one while we listen to Dwayne's?
Do you want the stock market one or do you want the space one?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Either of them.
Yeah, the space one's fine. I don't know the stock market.
We'll do space. We'll do space. Space is easy. Space is fun.
Okay. Give me something good. Give me something good on space.
It's so tough.
Okay. You ready, cats? Okay, here's what
I heard pages turn. I heard actual papers.
I know.
I wrote it on paper, but that doesn't mean there's a lot. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking I just want to do basically like a sequel. Like I know if it's based on books, like there's a series of books. I know people have talked about a sequel, but I just basically came up with my own story for a way to like take the character. It would still be Russell Crowe, but just like put him into a very different kind of situation. So the idea I had was, so I was thinking, I was doing my makeup while listening to a podcast about John Adams earlier. And when they got to the point of the Boston Massacre, they were talking a bunch about like the East India Company. And they were talking about the fact that like, just the East India Company was basically in charge of countries at the time. Like it was basically like its own country, but it was like kind of quasi England. So our boy, Russell Crowe, he's old at this point. He's like fucking 60 years old, which is like death's door at that point, especially for a military man of his age and in his era. So what he's doing, and like historically, I don't think any of this is going to work out, but I'm just going to try. So he's working, he stops working for the military. He had to retire, but hard times are coming money wise. So he still has his ship. He gets his crew together. There's like a fucking depression or something in England, or maybe because of the Americans leaving independence, there's an economic issue. But he's fucked. He needs to get back on his ship. And he was like, okay, I guess I'll work for the East India Company because like they got a lot of power. Like, but now it's immediately inherently a different dynamic because instead of him working for a government, he's working for a company. So that's an entirely different rule of morals, but he's trying to go about it like a soldier. So he gets all of it. He gets the gang back together, gets on his old warship. They're like, you got to go pick up some cargo on the Horn of Africa. And he goes down, and then that's when Act 2 starts, when he realizes the cargo he's picking up is a bunch of slaves that he has to transport. So now he's got, and this isn't a slave ship he's fucking piloting. This is a warship, so it's not built for it. So they have to like fucking figure out really weird ways to chain them up and shit. And they got to like move the cannons around. So there's like a weird dynamic, and the slaves kind of realize like this is not how this is supposed to be going. Like even though they've never seen anything like this before, they're still picking up on vibes. This is kind of like weird and fucked up. And our captain, even though he's a good leader and a moral character and everything, he's like, I got my orders, because he's a man of his time. And he's like, I mean, I didn't really want to be in the slave trade, but I guess now I am. I got my orders and I need to make my money so I can feed my family. So he goes and he's delivering the slaves, and we have like fucking all sorts of stuff there. But like the interesting thing that comes out of Act 2 is he's not having like the classic like white savior scene where he decides they're people too, I'm gonna save them. He doesn't have that kind of shit. Like he's literally just like a classic European man of that era where he's like, I'm just gonna deliver these fucking people and I'm gonna get my money. So he's on his way to deliver him.
Focus in. Oh, sorry, but we're gonna talk about like how a lot of like African slave trade was like through India and like the northern African like provinces and like Egypt and stuff, right? And like how like Muslim.
Sure, yeah, no. If you want to get into the actual history of it, okay, like you definitely explore.
I just don't want this to be like them showing up to a jungle and being like, "Hey, here's a net, gotcha."
Oh no. No, we'll do it like actually historically accurately, if even this stuff I'm talking about lines. I don't know if the East India Company like gave slaves or whatever. I'm just spitballing here from a storyteller's perspective who doesn't really know that much about the history. But yeah, no, definitely like the slavery and all that will be like shown like with more like historical nuance. But so anyway, so he decides, he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to deliver these guys. Then we get into the third act, and the third act kicks up, or maybe like somewhere in the middle of the second act. Third act kicks up when a British government ship thinks that they're fucking pirates. So that ship fucking like attacks them, and then there's like a whole thing where it explodes into like basically a similar kind of plot line where he has to take out this ship, lower numbers. Most of his crew is slaves, and then the crew the slaves just decide, all right, fuck it, we'll help you because these guys are trying to kill us. And then so there's two potential endings. I like one of them better, so I won't even read the other one if you like this one. But the idea is he like surrender. They defeat the ship. They defeat the bad guys. And then he just basically tells the slaves, like, you know what, fuck it, just take that ship over there. As far as the East India Company is concerned, you were lost at sea. And then he just lets them go off on their own ship or whatever. The other potential idea for an ending was that he surrenders his ship because, like, the extent that the slaves went to try and help him, the Africans went to try and help him. Like, the extent that they went to that level, like, it made him so he was just like, fuck it, I'm here for bullshit reasons. Anyway, I'm fighting a British ship. I don't want to, like, kill my countrymen. So he just says, like, yes, I am a pirate. These people are all my captives. And then he just fucking walks the plank and gives himself so the slaves can go be free men.
Really?
In England, I guess. Because I think slavery was legal at the time, but I don't fucking know.
So that's pretty good. This is like before the Napoleon. This is like the Napoleon War, so like slavery is probably pretty A+.
Yeah, it's probably not that bad, you know. I mean, is this movie like Master and Commander 2, Master and Commander like because like actually there were supposed to be like lots of sequels to Master and Commander. Nobody knows this, but like,
right, exactly. Those are probably based on like other books that like actually have like proper stuff. This is the best idea.
Like, is this a sequel?
So this one's like this one will be a sequel, but like since it's not based on any of the other books, it'll have like a subtitle. It won't be like Master and Commander 2. It'll be like Master and Commander with some like fucking weird like subtitle. Like if there wasn't already a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, On Stranger Tides would be a great subtitle. But
The Road to Self or The Tides to Self could be a good one.
Yeah, or the I don't know.
Wave.
The Eye of the Storm.
You got to make like a slavery subtext in your.
Yeah, it's got to be like freedom or like
Colored Waters.
Yeah, the broken chains of the ship deck or something.
Dark
yeah,
Water.
No, see, the way I picture the trailer is like the trailer like ends with like, oh shit, they're slaves. Coming September 2024.
Oh shit.
You wouldn't believe it, but they're slaves.
It's like, yeah, no, everything after that point is just fucking.
I like the first ending, actually. I like the first ending where he was like, just like, hey, like, just take the ship. Like, I don't give a shit.
I like that too, because then like he doesn't die. You know?
Yeah, I don't think he has to die. Like, just make it. Let him get away.
And he still was following his orders, but the reason he did it wasn't out of his appeal to humanity. It was out of his appeal to like being a good leader and like just like the fact that they're like, okay, these people were good soldiers, and I, in my core, cannot put good soldiers in danger.
Yeah.
Well, so it's cool because like that was the whole idea. Is it's like there's so many of these fucking movies about like racism, and then the white dude just learns his lesson at the end. And I just wanted to make one where it was more like, nah, people were good people, and I was forced to do a good thing.
Yeah, well, and it ended up like unusually well, also, I suppose.
Yeah, no, but I mean, so did the original.
Slave shipments like made it to their destination, I guess. But like, you know. Like in this case, they got to commandeer a ship, so that's fine.
Yeah, they can either commandeer the ship and go be pirates, or because I thought slavery was illegal in England at this point, and that was why I was like, oh well, then it could be an English ship that takes them, and then they can just bring it back to England or whatever. So that's two potential ways.
I don't know what the limey status on it was like back in that day, but
yeah, neither do I. I just know that in the North they were against it. Like it was literally just the South. The South was the problem.
Well, I need a title. Before we go to Brant, I need a title though. What's your title?
Master and Commander. I feel like there's got to be something like something about like because Raise the Colors was like a thing they would say about a flag, like something about like men with no flag or men with no colors or like
the colors of freedom.
The colors of freedom.
The colors of the tide. Yeah. I think I know what you mean. I don't know. Let me know if you come up with a better name.
Too many blacks.
That's all I got. Yeah.
You can't say that. You can't say that. Now you can.
You can't say that.
You can't. Susan Wojcicki. She won't like it when you say that kind of thing. No, she won't. I've seen it. I've seen her doing it. Brant, what you got?
So, I've kind of condensed it down. I think the main focus is going to be around the planets of Saturn and Jupiter, and the chase will be between the moons of Saturn and Jupiter, both of those which have most of them. But I kind of want to focus more. There was one scene specifically in Master Commander that I really liked, and it was after the doctor had like do his whole surgery on himself, and they were kind of like stuck on the Galapagos, if you remember that bit.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do that for more of like a, being kind of like waiting, stuck there, discovering new things and new species. So we'll kind of do like more of a thing where like as they're chasing this boundied ship, someone gets hurt by a archaic weapon. We'll put it down to like an unknown variant of that ship, and it's like, oh, they still use like projectile weapons and not lasers. So like this doctor has to be like, geez, I gotta like pull out like all this old knowledge, and like I'm the one that got shot, by chance. And as we pull in, there's gonna be like this whole thing of like seeing the scenery of one of the moons of Saturn. It's like they're kind of like looking past the rings, and they have like the whole bit of like just exploring this little bit of world. While the whole time, like they're looking up, they're like the commander, Russell Crowe, just keeps looking down. He always sees the ping just like off on the distance of his little like space compass or whatever. Space compass?
I think it's a big compass. Just compass.
It could just be you know what? Fuck yeah, it could just be a regular compass. He looks up like, there they are. But he's waiting for like one of his main commanders to kind of rest or recuperate. And like during a lot of that time, so like I said, we're stuck on like one of the moons of Saturn. And as they're kind of like rotating through and then like getting through, Russell Crowe is kind of like, we got to keep going. While he's just more like, this is undiscovered land. This is things that I've never seen. These are things that I could write about and bring back to the world. And we'll be hailed as heroes just for this knowledge itself. But Russell is just like, we're here to capture someone. We're here to take a prize, not knowledge. And it'll kind of be more of like that, the heads butting, I guess I would say, of like duty versus science, And I kind of want I want like to break away actually, where the scientists and his small group actually say like, we're not going with you at the end. They're saying like, no. And that'll be like the big like part of the second act leading to the third is them saying like, we're not going to like continue this horrid trek to fame based on the death of others. We're here for a single reason. That's to save people and to learn new things. And it'll be a whole scene where Russell Crowe and our doctor will kind of like have it off, and he'll be like, fine, then we're leaving without you. And if you're still alive when we come back, we may pick you up. But I really think like that was like the only scene that I really thought about in this movie a lot was, like them chasing iguanas and turtles. I kind of want like some alien life forms and things like that, him pulling out like an old style bullet or like projectile from himself because like, oh well, all our machines like treat laser beams and stuff. And like him,
so what if this like future was like a steampunk? Like what if it was like a steampunk kind of future? No. You don't want steampunk?
It's just hard.
I think steampunk brings a lot of things that I don't want touching any of this. Steampunk is pretty Reddit. It's very Reddit.
Your Star Trek ass bullshit is Reddit as fuck.
Yeah,
Steampunk
is no. Steampunk is not Reddit.
Steampunk is Tumblr.
Of all, yeah, I'll accept that over Reddit. Like I would rather be side with Tumblr than Reddit at this point. But like,
would you rather have a movie be Tumblr than Reddit though? I guess.
Yes.
No, I don't know, man.
Probably at this point, it would be interesting. No, okay, but steampunk has its place. Like, there's good steampunk shit. Like, I'm talking more like Dark City
okay, fine. Like steampunk. Okay, I will not do steampunk, shit. But could we do laser punk? Could we do like that old 50s style rocket ship type stuff where it's like people who are literally wearing skin tight jumpsuits with like the big fish helmets?
I'm talking like steampunk. Okay, like steampunk, like what was that fucking movie that we just like watched? That was like French. The Lost City of Lost Children, like that kind of. Yeah, like that kind of shit. Like I feel like if you're gonna do like this, I don't think it should be like all like spacey electronic too much.
That's like, reasonable. We can very easily move like the settings into like more of a phase laser punk type thing with like. Old diodes and like VHS stuff and like big computers that like take up entire rooms and like classic rocket ships that are just like.
So it's like 90s future.
Yeah, retro punk is. Retro punk, I think, is like the term for it. Is what you're looking for. That's very easy because that's just like that's just set. That's just art department, and they could just do that with whatever. But I think like the main idea of this will be like very much like we're gonna be kind of like the ship. Who's kind of like whose entire job is like patrolling the Saturn Jupiter area and like riding the rings of Saturn. Suddenly is like, hey, there's like this bounty of the ship, and like they're a mean mother, and they're heading towards Europa, and you gotta stop them before they get to that moon, and like they're on the other side, and like they're just always on the tail of it. And like I said, the main point of it, or at least a big point that I really want to like focus on for a lot of it is like. When they finally do land in and they like meet one of these moons that hasn't been discovered or like hasn't like really been explored, and they have like this whole thing where they're going through and they're looking at it after this guy like does this horrible fucked up shit to himself, and then we'll go back to space, we'll blow shit up, and there'll be fucking cannon fire, and it'll be like like Treasure Planet, but like in big, weird cylindrical fucking rockets.
I haven't seen Treasure Planet.
As long as
Lasers,
it's like Treasure Planet.
lasers everywhere. People with cyborg arms and like bad robots.
I want people to
Yeah,
leave the theater
okay,
being like, I've never seen so many lasers.
So many lasers.
Okay.
I want
okay,
people
okay.
with epilepsy to have not one, not two, but 3 seizures during
Made
the
a
What's
fucking.
this movie called, Brent? What's this movie called?
This is called Master and Phaser.
Master and Phaser. Okay.
Master and Star Commander.
No, Master and Phaser.
Master and Phaser. Master and Phaser. And Dwayne, what's yours?
The Journey of Saturn's Moons.
What?
Because
What's yours?
we've all been
What's your
forgetting
name?
about Master Commander and its dumb fucking actual super long title, which is Master and Commander.
At the
The
edge.
far
Yeah.
side of the
Oh,
world.
at the far side of the, yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, no.
Okay. Mine's gonna be called because I thought a lot about this, and I don't think there's any better name than Master and Commander Soldier of Fortune.
Shut.
Because-
What?
Because his whole motivation, the entire movie, is all about like it's him squaring the fact of he wants to be a military man, but now he's doing it entirely for money.
Soldier of Fortune.
Literally nothing
I
but
was hoping-
there might
I
be
was
something
hoping
better,
come
but
up
I
with-
feel good about that one.
Well, I was hoping you'd come up with a better name to make it like a more decisive victory, but I still got to go with yours over Brant's because I don't like lasers. Like fuck lasers, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of them.
You
So
don't like sci-fi? Cats, you don't like sci-fi? You don't
I
like
don't give a shit about. I
retro
like
punk shit?
sci-fi. I don't like fucking lasers though. Lasers are fucking gay. Like I
That's all
don't.
sci-fi is.
Well, there wasn't much to the idea
No.
except it's in space and there's lasers.
Yeah, it's lasers and that's it. Like you didn't give me much more.
It
and I
was
like,
tough. It was so tough
okay,
to watch.
I was just trying to latch on some steampunk ideas because I like steampunk, and you wouldn't even.
Yeah, no,
take
he
that.
tried to toss something at you and you just said
What?
fucking
You
hard
want the
no.
doctor
You
like
looked
his
bored the
unconscious
entire
ears, he's like,
time.
oh,
Can't do
this-
anything.
No, never. I would
point,
never
man.
submit to steampunk.
That's exactly it. Then I gave you breaks.
This is a moral victory for me. Then you could have your victory, Dwayne. This is a moral one for
This
myself.
is a moral. Brant's the moral majority.
Steampunk's
Brant's
fucking
the moral-
stupid. I'm gonna say it now.
Fucking
Anyone
mixed
who's like
shit.
entire motif,
Fuck
and this
you.
might be because just earlier
you.
today I
It's
saw
not
someone
fucking
that's
stupid.
punk
It's
jack
fucking
in
cool.
the top hat, and my first thought was like, God, I wish like murder was just legal for this like 5 minutes here. Fine, but steampunk,
Why were-
never. I will never like condone those acts of those wretched nerds that want to put fucking useless gears on
You're
shit.
getting cosplay. You're getting cosplay in the way of like cinema. You're getting
No.
cosplay in the way of cinema.
I'm not
This is
getting
why-
anything else to fucking put on. No more top hats. No more gears on goggles. I'm sick of
Make
it.
a substantial.
Stupid.
Make a film point. Make a film point. I want to hear like a film point
Do
of
you
why.
want like steampunk, but like it's bad?
Yeah,
It's
with
like,
your
oh,
top
people get
hats.
Fine. Here's a
Yeah,
whole
but
bunch.
yeah.
The whole
Goggles.
system, like
bar.
people
I
get
don't
caught in the
fucking
instead of like being
do.
shot by cans and lasers. They get fed into gears because for some reason steampunk insists on just open gears without any covering and
That's
steam
the
blasting
thing.
through.
That's fucking the
cool.
thing. That's like complaining
That's
about
cool.
space shit over the
Shut up.
lasers.
We'll have like
Yeah,
people walk
lasers
by
are
a
gay.
steam release and like get their face melted off by 1,000+ degree water. Sure, take it.
Oh.
No, fuck
Do
you.
you think lasers are fucking realistic? Fuck you.
Lasers are way cooler. Fuck you.
No,
Lasers
they're
are so
not.
much
They're-
cooler than steampunk.
They're stupid. Right? Lasers are not.
Lasers
cool.
can like etch things on jeans and like melt steel. Steampunk can't do shit. Steampunk's just a bunch of stupid brass
Steampunk looks
contraptions on
nice.
fucking goggles.
It looks awesome. It looks cool.
I
we
will
all
never
know.
give in to this Tumblr Reddit ideal of like,
It's cool.
no,
It's
fuck you.
cool.
You're disgusting, cats. You're awful. Your sense of fashion is fucked.
It's better than generic sci-fi,
I do.
in my opinion.
Generic
Make a
sci-fi
personal
makes money nowadays. Have you ever watched a fucking Marvel movie? All that shit's lasers and like injections and like nano machines.
Lasers.
Yeah, but like that's
Like,
not what
what are you
sells the
saying?
tickets. It's the superheroes. That's what makes it not
No,
generic.
it's
You
a
think
big
Russell?
giant blue
You
laser.
think this movie
never
sold
knew.
tickets because it was like, yeah, this is an old movie about sea captains? It was Russell Crowe that sold the tickets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that and like I don't know. Yeah,
didn't
that
make
was
that much
probably
money either. It didn't make a whole lot of
It
money.
really didn't. It was
Yeah,
like
I just be surprised if it
it
did.
just
It did not
barely
look like the
broke
kind of
red.
movie that makes a lot of money.
No.
Everybody I know who likes like war movies and like guy movies and stuff though, like they fucking love this movie.
It's a fucking good. Yeah, it's like that's. I don't know. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's one.
I believe
I'd say
the
it's
one
top
time that
5.
Hobbins did the podcast with us, he actually suggested Master and Commander.
Well, Hobbins is
Really?
a retarded alcoholic.
That was well, he should have fucking joined us on this one. He should have talked about it. Could have
Should be
used
on every
somebody like
podcast, in my opinion.
be fine, yeah.
Good man.
Well, shit. Okay. Well,
That's
yeah.
fine. No, take it,
we're gonna
take
do. We're
this-
gonna.
take
We're
this
gonna
way.
do Captain. What's the movie name?
We're staying.
Uh,
Master and Commander. I'm a Soldier of Fortune.
Soldier of Fortune. That's such a fucking. Yeah, I was.
I thought it was
hoping
like
you
the
come up
perfect
with
Choice,
name.
Cats. Good choice.
Shut up! I don't like that name at all.
The
But,
other name was Precious Cargo because it had like irony.
Holy shit!
Because like I was thinking there could be like a line where
That's
like the
great.
guy who tells him to pick it up says, "Oh, it's valuable cargo," or "It's precious."
You could have had Precious show up. You could have had a fat black woman.
And then he learns by the end of the movie that life is precious, and that's it's like that one had like levels. That one had levels.
That's
But
great.
Soldier of Fortune just it sounded better as a title.
Soldier of Fortune sounds so fucking dumb. I don't like that name.
I could sound awesome.
Yeah,
It's
I
like it's a
don't-
real expression.
Yeah, but it sounds fucking stupid. Like it just sounds like a fucking Call of Duty game that came out in 2004 or something. Like
It
doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it's not even a full
so-
game.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like a fucking offshoot like game mode of Call of Duty that like wasn't popular.
Yeah, like
It was like Search and Destroy with Capture the Flag, and it just didn't catch on.
it's a title that I would immediately skip over because I'd look at it and go, Soldier of Fortune. No way. Like I beg.
Yeah,
you.
but it's got the see, like that's what you want out of like a
Like,
subtitle.
we're running it into production. We're running this film into production. We got the cash already rolling, but just like change the fucking. We're changing the
Whatever, Art
fucking.
department's gonna need
We'll
time.
work that out.
Yeah. What are we watching next week?
What we're watching next week, we're keeping the. I just realized this. We're keeping the sailor vibe. We're watching Popeye. Robert Altman's Popeye.
Robert. Yes. Get some Robert Altman into the fucking mix. That's great.
Let's do it. Starring the great Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall, playing fucking Olive Oil better than anyone in the universe ever could have. It's a good movie.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it on
shit.
Brand? While
Everybody
you're
was
looking
drunk.
at it, is it on anything? Do I have to give you my HBO?
You do.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, I'll give you guys my HBO.
Oh no.
Chili
Do you
dog
guys?
Paulo
Do we,
Smith.
okay.
Look at this.
Do you wanna? Does anyone else have any hot takes that they want to just like share before we stop? I mean,
Steampunk is the death of a generation, and I
Tampons don't
gladly
feel very
applaud
good.
their gear-studded nooses that will tighten around their necks. Fuck steampunk.
Okay.
I don't. No, I say no to that. I say yes to good steampunk films, and I say yes to Master and Commander.
Show me one good steampunk film, and I'll show
Yeah,
you
no,
just
honestly,
one
I need
overblown
to see
piece
that
of
too because
bullshit.
I honestly have a slight bias against steampunk
One-
too. It feels
one good
really
steam-
Tumblr to me.
No,
What?
it's okay.
One.
One good
Just give me
steampunk
one
film
good
would be
steampunk movie.
Dark
And don't
City.
say the fucking City of Lost Children because that is not steampunk. That's just weird
Yes, it
shit.
is.
That's
Dark
just French
City.
shit. No,
Dark
it's
City.
just because it contains
Pro.
steampunk technology doesn't mean it's a good steampunk film.
No, yeah, it does. Delicatessen, I would say, is kind of steampunk. Yeah, Delicatessen is definitely steampunk.
Oh, Delicatessen was more of like an absurdist film, and it just had some slightly steampunk elements. It wasn't really a
steampunk at the
steampunk
end.
film. There were
It was
I don't even know
steampunk
how
at
many
the end.
exposed gears there were in that movie.
Dude,
Steampunk's
steampunk's
cool.
gotta have a lot of exposed gears.
That's
It's like
the whole
no
thing.
paneling at
The
all.
No, it
genre of
doesn't. It can just have some.
steampunk is just—it's like how noir you need to have a narrator.
It's not a whole genre.
Steampunk, all
I'm
you
not
need
talking
is
about
exposed
genre.
gears and stupid hats.
Okay, steampunk as a genre, you should not be a genre because that's like such a specific genre. You wouldn't do that. That's like calling a genre like movies about like people who wear vests, or something like that. It's like that's not a genre. Like it's like incorporating steampunk though into films and making it like something that's actually kind of cool. I think is better. Like I like those kind of effects better than stupid fucking gay space shit. Like. Because space shit looks stupid most, like 100% of the time. Not even 100%. Like 98, I'll give it a 98. There's 2% of the time where lasers don't look fucking stupid, but lasers fucking suck. Like they're stupid.
I can follow you down I can follow you down the road of like steampunk isn't that bad, but I'm not following you down the road of lasers are stupid. I would betray so much of my lively. I love lasers.
You're the minority cats.
Those are the most boring parts of Star Wars.
See, if you're doing a space though, it has to be more interesting. Like you got to give me more than just like we're in space and there's lasers. You got to give me more.
I gave you like an entire unknown planet, like moons of Saturn and Jupiter. Going like towards Europa, the ice giant.
The issue was they didn't really add much to the plot.
It's
a goddamn movie about the Navy, and no one cares about the Navy. The Navy is the lamest part of the Army.
Well, it's not about the Navy. It's about Master and Commander. It's Master and Commander. It's not called Navy. It's called Master and Commander. It's not called like Navyman.
Hey, happy 9/11. GoArmy.com.
Yeah, happy 9/11. Brant, put them parallel, and then we got the towers.
Yeah, and then you can have one slowly crumble.
Thanks to some.
They fell at the same time, so that was inaccurate, but so is many things about our account of 9/11.
Well, there should have been a third one that came a little bit after, but whatever. We're not
Play us out. Play us out.
Okay. We're gonna play it out.
Yeah, no, now you're gonna mumble. Like we had like at least 2 good lines we could have ended on. Now you're gonna mumble until it's over, you fuck. Be ready for this shit.
The death of society is the acceptance of steampunk over laser punk.
What good lines did we have?
Oh, well, there was the 9/11 thing. That was a fun little ending, and I said something hilarious like I'm known to do. I don't even remember what it was, but I thought it was good at the time.
The future's lasers, nerd.
Yeah.